welcome everybody here in Danvers to Lead On. It's our community show we do with community leaders in our community doing wonderful things to help everybody out. Today is our Valentine's Day edition, and it wouldn't be magically sparkly if we didn't have John and his dad Mark from John's Crazy Socks spreading kindness with us today. Welcome, gentlemen. How are you?
Thank you so much on your interview. I'm so excited.
We're glad to be here. Thank you for having us on the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I have been huge fans of both of you since watching your videos, and I'm on your Facebook posts. I get all of your updates. And so first of all, you need to tell everybody why you started this business, because it is absolutely phenomenal.
Well, you want to go back to the beginning?
Yes.
The very beginning. So our story starts in a small log cabin in the woods.
No.
It happened, starts on suburban Long Island in a town called Huntington. And origins matter, right? So where were you? This was the fall of 2016.
Yeah.
Where were you?
I was at Huntington High School. That could be my last year school.
And like everybody else, John was trying to figure out what comes next. What do I do after school?
Right.
And what are you looking
I
at?
like a job, program, school. I can't find something I don't like.
He couldn't find anything he wanted. And this, unfortunately, is reality for too many people.
Right.
John, you have Down syndrome.
Yes, I am.
Only 1 in 5 people with a disability in this country are employed. It's awful. But John here,
Yes.
you're a natural entrepreneur.
Yes, I am.
If you couldn't find a job you wanted, what'd you say?
I want to create one. I want to make one.
Love it.
And he told me, he comes in, what'd you say?
I said I'm gonna be with my partner and nice fellas that been together.
And now I'm a lucky man. Got 3 sons.
Wow.
And this is what I could work with.
Yes.
But then we had to figure out what were we going to do as a business. And John here, he has a lot of ideas.
I do.
What was one of them?
While they made a food truck, I saw a great movie called Chef of John Favreau. That's a neat movie about father and son bonding food truck.
So this is pretty cool. And everybody out there, you all love eating at food trucks, right? And what were you thinking of making?
A barbecue.
Yum, my favorite.
We're thinking, where could we put this truck? What would we make? But we ran into a problem.
We can't cook.
Yeah, we can. But then, right before Thanksgiving, John had his eureka moment.
Yes, I did. I'm gonna sell crazy socks. White socks. It's fun and colorful. It's creative. It always let me be me.
John had worn these crazy socks his whole life. We used to drive around looking for them. In fact, well, it's not right near Danvers, but we'd found a place out in Orleans on the Cape where he would get these socks.
I did.
So we figured this. If he loved them, surely other people would too, and we could find those people. So you already had the name.
I got a name. I have a website. Come about ideas.
He had the idea to sell online, so we built a website, got a little bit of inventory. The only marketing we did was to set up a Facebook page. And I would take out my cell phone and we made videos. And who do you think was in those videos?
I am. I sock, more socks.
And we opened in the middle of December of 2016, not knowing what to expect. And the very first day we got 42 orders.
Wow.
And most of them were local, which made sense, right? We
Yes.
lived in Huntington, he's at Huntington High School. So we decided to deliver those by making home deliveries. We got red boxes, put the socks in the box. You added a thank you note.
I think I know and candy.
We got bags of Hershey's Kisses, poured them in the boxes, loaded up the car, drove around, and you knocked on doors delivering socks.
Yes, it did.
How the customers
And
respond?
customers love the socks. Customers love me.
They loved you. And people are now sharing, on social media. And, and not just like in Danvers and down Long Island in December. It gets dark early and it gets cold. We're pulling up in front of houses. John's getting out of the car and I'm watching him. He's knocking on the door. He's going inside. And I'm waiting. and I'm waiting. It's getting cold in that car. What's he doing? He's inside drinking hot chocolate, telling stories, taking pictures, having a grand old time. But that's how we got started. At the end of that month, really 2 weeks, we had shipped 452 orders, and we knew we had something.
Mm.
How big it would grow, we didn't know how fast it would grow. But now we're in our 9th year. We have now, how many different socks do we have?
4,000 different socks.
4,000 socks, which means John owns the world's largest sock store.
I did.
We've been able to create 34 jobs. 22 of those are held by people with different abilities. We've donated over $800,000 to our charity partners.
Wow.
We've shipped 475,000 packages to 89 different countries. And you like to say,
I just get started.
just getting started.
I love it. So you two have been advocating for people with different abilities for a while. Mark, I have seen your posts on Facebook. I first of all want to let you know that I'm very proud that you advocate for your son and everybody else with different abilities. So what would you say, and what is your mission now going forward with the way the world is, and what are you guys doing to continue to spread the happiness and the magic that you do?
Well, there are a couple of things. First, you always have to know who you are. So, you got to know your purpose. What's our mission?
Spread happiness.
Spreading happiness. But a big part of that is showing what people with different abilities can do.
Right.
And we've been fortunate because our story and the media attention we've gotten, it gives us a platform. I mean, look at this. You have us on your show. How awesome is that? But that creates an obligation for us to show what people with different abilities can do. It creates an obligation for us to speak out. So we do it in a number of ways. One, John, you have Down syndrome.
Yes, I am.
What do you say about that?
I have Down syndrome. Down syndrome, I never hold me back.
John's the face of the business. We don't put him in the back. He's right up front. We do it with our hiring. More than half of our colleagues have a different ability. We do it on our social media. We want to share what John and our colleagues do. And no broccoli, nothing your mother says, this is good for you, sit down and eat it. It's got to be entertaining and engaging. Yeah. We host tours and work groups. We've had more than 3,000 people come through our place. And it's really important for people with different abilities to see people like themselves working and owning a business. We take on speaking engagements.
Yeah.
So, up in Massachusetts, we were down with Lynn Friend. We've spoken at Holy Cross. We've been on your show. We've been on public TV in Boston. We've spoken down on the Cape. I know we spoke to, I forget the name of that group, the Do Good group in Boston. I mentioned Holy Cross. Any chance we can. And so we travel the country, and we've spoken across Canada and Mexico, showing what people with different abilities can do. And then there's the pure advocacy work. So we've spoken twice at the United Nations.
Wow.
We've testified twice before Congress.
Yep.
We have to add nowadays, we were not subpoenaed. We routinely go down to Capitol Hill to meet with legislators. We're going back down in April because they'll open their doors and we have to go and speak to them. We have now been publishing more articles. So you read maybe, 2, and we have to walk a line.
Yep.
We're looking to share and engage with people. We don't, part of what we promote is unity, finding common ground. In fact, a few years ago, we made unity socks and we sent them to every member of Congress and introduced them with the Democratic and Republican member of Congress to say, come on, guys, let's find common ground. Let's find ways to talk to each other and work together. So we look for ways to do that. We focus on issues around people with different abilities, but there are times when we need to speak out. So I'll give you three recent examples. Elon Musk, who has a tremendous influence in this country and in the world, he's taken to frequently using the R word. He insults people by telling them they're retarded. So I sent Mr. Musk a letter, which I published publicly, not calling him out as much as calling him in,
Hmm.
sharing why that word is so damaging, and urging him to speak in more positive language. Recently, there was that terrible, they were all terrible, plane crash in Washington, D.C. And the president came out afterwards and said, well, it may, been caused by DEI hiring, and very specifically said because the FAA was hiring people with intellectual development disabilities to work as air traffic controllers. So wrote him a letter and said, again, not calling out as much as calling in. Let's share some facts, but also let's look at the impact and the positive contribution people with intellectual development disabilities have. People like John. Interestingly, those two letters have received over 1 million views online.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. The New York Times is considering an op-ed piece that addresses some of the DEI debate and suggesting maybe that's the wrong argument. That as an employer, and I'll suggest all employers, big, small, we all want to do the same thing. We want to hire the best possible people at a salary we can afford to pay. If you exclude a group, you can no longer be confident you're hiring the best possible people. You need to make sure that you're being inclusive in your recruiting. Mm-hmm. And if you find that, geez, if I look at our organization and we're a very white organization and we don't have enough Black Americans, well, the answer is not necessarily the next person I hire has to be a Black American. No. But you have to ask yourself, how are we recruiting and are we missing something? Because we could be missing great candidates. And so therefore you have to look and say, how do we recruit? Where do we recruit? So to me, there's a business imperative to hire, to make sure you have a diverse pool you're hiring from and a diverse employment base. Those are some of the ways, by speaking out, through our speaking engagements, by sharing at our blog, by publishing articles in other papers and publications, that we can raise awareness and share and engender discussion. I hope that makes sense to you.
No, absolutely. And John, I have a question for you. Why don't you tell us about your scholarship?
The scholarship, our oldest son Kenny scholarship, and we did that past 7 years.
7 years.
7 years. Wow.
It's a very complicated process.
Yes.
You have to submit a sock design, and there are 3 scholarships.
Yeah.
The top is $5,000, and then $2,500 and $1,000. The top line scholarship, and one of the co-spots is a group up near you, is the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation for Autism.
Great.
But we've been doing it for 7 years, and it's just another way of saying, look what people with autism can do, look at their accomplishments, and it's offering support. So people have used it to go on to college.
Yes.
They've used it to go to film school. It's very cool.
Yeah, and the sock design is great because we get to vote on it. I think that's wonderful. I got to vote for this year's top sock design. So it's really cool how these people, everybody's coming up with all these different sock designs, and then to have your pair of socks actually designed is amazing.
Yes, we then produce it, and you're going to get 100 pair of socks, and people love it.
Great gifts. Great gifts. I love it. So how much have you donated to nonprofit organizations with all the sock sales? Now, I know Special Olympics is near and dear to your heart.
right?
Because
But
John,
that's where we started.
yeah.
Pledge 5% of our earnings to the Special Olympics. And why the Special Olympics?
I am a Special Olympic athlete.
What sports?
I play basketball, track and field, soccer, and snowshoe.
Snowshoeing.
Last Saturday, John competed in a regional snowshoe
I
tournament.
did.
And next week, you're going to Rochester for the state finals, right? So that's where we started. But then we've gone on to create products that raise awareness, celebrate causes, and raise money for those causes. So what's the first awareness sock?
Our very first sock is a Down syndrome awareness sock.
And who designed that?
I did. I designed it.
That raises money for the National Down Syndrome Society.
Yes.
So between that, between other donations, John has now donated over $800,000 to our charity partners.
Amazing.
Pretty cool, huh, pal?
Very cool.
Very cool. That's amazing. So I promised everyone, I wanted everybody to see these cute packages, spreading happiness. So when you order from John's Crazy Socks, this is what you get. I know John's probably excited to see what I picked, huh? So we get our socks, which are cute. I got Boss Lady socks for my birthday. And John's birthday was February 11th, everybody. We're very excited. He had a special promotion for his birthday. And then we get a letter from our sock wrangler, which I think is great. Gary was my sock wrangler. And then I get this really cool, I like your joke, John. It's no joke that these socks are perfect to keep your feet toasty warm, from John. So we get a John's Crazy Sock little joke, and then I get my lollipop. I just think this is so cute. To open your packages, John, just to let you know, they always seem to come at the right time. If I'm having a bad day or something's not going my way, I get my mail and your socks are there, and it just definitely spreads the happiness and the kindness. So they are awesome.
Thank you for sharing.
Wow, thank you so much. It's so great.
We're not just sending you socks. We're sending you a dose of happiness.
Absolutely. And you can actually buy your socks on the North Shore here at Parcels in the Liberty Tree Mall. You were there recently with your mom. All three of you were together for your premiere there.
We love that store. It's run by the Northeast Arc, and what a fabulous organization they are. The services they provide, the support they offer, the advocacy work they do. We get to see a lot of organizations across the country, and the Northeast Arc is a role model organization. And that Parcel store, we were up there. I spent a good chunk of change buying things.
Oh, I have really fun there.
You like that store, huh?
I do. I love pickles.
But if you want to stay home, in your pajamas and cuddle up, you can still get our socks. Where can you get them?
I got johnscrazysock.com and also check out at Parcel.
Absolutely.
Go to Parcels and johnscrazysocks.com.
That's right.
Well, thank you both for coming on today. You guys are amazing. I think your mission and everything you do is wonderful. I love buying my socks and going online and getting a new pair when you have your new designs up. You're both an inspiration, and there couldn't be a better Valentine's Day episode of Lead On than with the two of you. So I'm just so excited and blessed to have you here today. I wish you continued success in everything that you do. And you two are an inspiration to so many. And you brighten my day every time I see your videos. And I watch your videos and I just chuckle because they're so cute. And you two are absolutely an amazing father and son team. So thank you from the bottom of my heart and everybody that you help. You're both amazing.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, thanks so much. Happy Valentine's Day. I send all the love.
I love it. Thank you, Danvers, and join us next time as we meet with some other community leaders who are doing amazing things for everyone in our community. Take care, Danvers.